What's up, guys? I decided to do a little experiment with two things that are never supposed to go together. An extremely tough cut like short rib and sushi, which is supposed to melt in your mouth. However, we're gonna make these two curious bedfellows compatible with the alchemy of Koji. First, we're gonna season our trim short rib with MSG, give it a generous coating of shio koji, and allow it to age in the fridge in the open air for 3 days. The short rib is being cooked at 125 degrees for 48 hours, and I'm seasoning my sushi rice with black vinegar, rice vinegar, dashi powder, and sugar. After the short rib's done cooking sous vide, we're gonna give it a nice sear in a carbon steel pan, and then we're gonna go ahead and give it a very generous butter baste. One of the first things that I noticed when I was basting the short rib is how incredibly sweet it actually smelled, mainly from the effects of the shio koji starting to break down the surface of that protein. As you can see, the short rib is basically rare internally, which under normal circumstances would almost be inedible, but with the shio koji and the sous vide process, this stuff is very tender. This stuff would be perfectly tender as a steak, but to cut down on any remaining chewiness, I decided to give it a little scoring as well. Next, we're gonna mold our pieces of nigiri, and at least for me, this is the most difficult part of the sushi making process. I'm definitely a lot slower. I'd get fired in a restaurant, but practice makes perfect, and we're getting better by the day. To finish these babies off, we're gonna give it a nice blowtorch for that Maillard reaction and a little bit of surface crispiness. And to double down on the richness, I'm gonna spoon over some of that brown butter from the pan drippings. We're gonna finish off with a pinch of flaky salt, a little bit of lemon juice, and some wasabi and garlic aioli. And I have to call this experiment a success. The heavy richness and savoriness of the short rib and brown butter paired perfectly well with the sweetness and the acidity of that sushi rice.